Hey, shalom, shalom, mishpocha. Welcome to another edition of Ray Bash's Ramblings. I'm your host, Rabbi Yehuda Ben Shomer, and today I'm going to be talking about prophetic people. I'm not trying to paint all prophetic people with one big broad stroke, but what I'm trying to do is bring out some common similarities that I have found between scripturally prophetic people and modern day people who operate in the gifts of the prophetic. Not saying that this is the way it's going to be for every single prophetic type of person that's out there, and it's also not to say that this personality type that I'm describing means that everyone who is like this is prophetic. So I'm not trying to say that either, so I just want to make that clear. But oftentimes, prophetic people usually have a melancholy / choleric A-type personality. You will readily see this when you read the life of Moses and read the life of David. They were both very prophetic type of people. Even Elijah, they were prophetic type of people, and they were melancholy because their emotions ran the gamut. You know, when they were high, they were really high. When they were low, they were really low. You think of Elijah when he combated the prophets of Baal. He was on a mountaintop and he was all, powerful. But the next chapter, you see him in a really, really low where he's hiding in a cave, saying, "Lord, please take me. I can't take it anymore." Same with Jonah. He was a prophet, and he was called to speak to the pagan people of Nineveh, and he wore his emotions on his sleeve. He was angry, and he was under this gourd and under the shade, and he wanted to die, and he was angry, and so a lot of times prophetic people are like this. They're very melancholy. They run the gamut of emotions, but equally they're very militant, and there's where the choleric aspect comes in. They're very militant in that they have good leadership abilities, and people usually come to them seeking help and guidance. We see that Joshua was the sidekick of Moses, and we see that Elijah had Elisha, and a lot of times the prophets were sought out for advice by people. The Shulamite woman is another example of somebody coming to a prophet for help or for advice, and so that's another thing that kind of marks the prophetic type of person. But there's also a danger in this when these personality traits are not balanced within a prophetic person. They usually end up being like Peter, Kepha. In other words, they get their foot caught in their mouth again. Or they're like Moses, where they do the right thing at the wrong time. Moses was called to be a liberator of the children of Israel from Egypt. And he acted upon this calling that he knew was placed upon his life by Elohim, but it was at the wrong place at the wrong time, and he ended up killing an Egyptian and being sent in exile. A lot of times the prophetic type of person gets a revelation from God, and they think it has to happen right then and there, and it needs to be done, when sometimes the Lord says, put it on a shelf and wait. So a lot of times prophetic people kind of jump the gun. Prophetic people are very blunt. They're very straightforward. They're the type of person that's going to pull you to the side and say, "Hey, grab a Kleenex because you got a booger hanging from your nose. I want to save you some embarrassment here." They can seem harsh and crude, rude, socially unacceptable, socially inept. They often offend people. You'll read many times in the Tanakh where a prophet comes along and maybe a king says, "Oh no, here comes the prophet. He never says anything but bad things," or they say things that are very blunt, and people think that it's contradictory what they're saying. For instance, when Israel went into captivity, one of the prophets said, submit to this captivity, build your homes there in captivity." What? We're supposed to be in the promised land. We're supposed to be in Israel. And the prophet was going against their conventional way of thinking. He says, no, I know what I'm talking about. And the prophetic type of person often deals with emotional issues, and that can be mistaken and confused for mental issues because they have dreams, they have visions, sleeping and waking. They can read things in people. They can know things about people that only they themselves know. And a lot of times they can come across as being the odd duck or the black sheep or somebody who's not quite right. And because they have these traits and these abilities, sometimes that they are ostracized. And even in the scriptures we read that God will often told prophets, I want you to deliver this message, but I'm going to give you a warning. It's not going to be accepted. It's not going to be heeded. They're going to reject you. And so the prophetic type of person is not this popular kind of guy. Just because they have these prophetic abilities, some people may consider them curses instead of gifts, because it just makes life hard for them in the conventional social setting. So these are the traits and the things dealing with the prophetic type of person. And the reason I'm bringing this out is because many of you may know that you have prophetic gifts, may even operate in some prophetic aspects, but at the same time you're probably thinking, why is my life so hard? Why can't I get a date? Why do I always keep getting kicked out of churches and synagogues? Why do people hate me? Why don't I have very many friends? Why do I deal with this depression? Why can't I get a grasp on my emotions? And so maybe these are answering some of your questions. Maybe you're watching this video and you're thinking, wow, that's me. I just want to let you know that you're not alone. I want you to let you know that you have kindred spirits out there. But God doesn't have all His prophetic people huddled in one mass in one group. He has spread us across the globe as seeds to bloom where we're planted and to minister when we're planted, where we were planted. So I just want you to take comfort in these things and take comfort in that fact. And for those people out there who are prophetic people, I want you to be comforted. I want you to know that you're not alone. I want you to know that there's a rhyme and a reason for the things that are going on in your life, and maybe explain some of these things that you're like, man, why is my life like this? And for those of you who are prophetic people, you're going to automatically get it. For those that aren't, you're going to be thinking, what does this have to do with me? Well, this video is not for you. Or I may get some people out there question and think, wow, this guy's falling off his rocker. Listen to what he's talking about. He's talking like a crazy man. Okay, you're not a prophetic person. You don't get it. But trust me, those who are prophetic people are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. It's going to click. You're going to feel that connection. You're going to get that check in your spirit, and you're going to know what I'm saying is the truth. So I'd be interested in hearing from some of you. Go ahead and message me, and let me know if this is rung true to you, if this resonated in your spirit. But I just wanted to kind of deliver this message just to maybe wake some of these prophetic people up. Give these prophetic people a little bit of comfort and a little bit of understanding to know where they're at. You may think you're in a horrible place. You may be actually in a point in your life where it seems like you're in a desert. It's dry. You used to be able to get dreams and visions and hear from the Lord all like this, that, and the other, and it seems like, hey, where's God? The skies are brass and the ground is a desert. What's up? Well, let me tell you. Don't think that you did anything wrong. Don't think that you've lost your gift or God's taken it away from you. You are in a good place. God is bringing His prophetic people into a season where there's going to be a paradigm shift, where there is a paradigm shift in the spirit and in the prophetic. It's as if He's treating you like wine or cheese. He's setting you on the shelf and letting you ferment. He's quietly and silently behind the scenes working within your life to mold you and make you into what He wants you and have you to be, so that when you emerge from this isolation, you emerge from this cave, you emerge from this wilderness, you will be better than ever. You will be like a new person, like a new man, operating more efficiently and more accurately in these prophetic gifts and callings that you have, because it's almost as if God is reprogramming you. Like many of you who are coming out of Christianity into the Messianic Netzari movement, God is treating you like oil in a car. He's draining the oil out of you, the old oil of operating in the Holy Spirit as Christianity understands it, and He's draining you out. He's flushing you of that, and He's getting ready to He's cleansing you right now. That's why you feel dry. That's why you feel empty. Is because you're drained. He's draining you and cleansing you and flushing you of all that, and then He's ready to screw the cap back on and fill you up with new oil, with the oil of the prophetic that's operating in the Messianic and Netzari movements. You're going to understand the Ruach HaKodesh like you never have before. So just be patient and ride it out and wait it out, because it's going to happen. It's going to change. Just give in to this and just be patient. Just enjoy this time of being in isolation and in the desert. It's nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to be afraid of. He's also teaching you not to depend on your feelings. The prophet Jeremiah said that your heart is the most deceptive thing about you. Who can know it? So he's teaching you to walk by faith and not by sight, and to also teach you that in the scheme of things, your emotions are pretty much irrelevant to the prophetic ministry. Your emotions are irrelevant, because that's what clouds, that's what parades and masks around his spirit, is your emotions. And he's trying to teach you to differentiate that it's walking by faith, that you do things because you love the Lord. You walk in this because you love him, not because you feel like it, not because you get goosebumps because of it. But he's teaching you to walk by faith and not by sight, walk by faith and not by feelings. So hopefully this brings some light to a lot of you out there who have been struggling and going through this dark and dreary, dry time. Hopefully maybe this has brought light and explanation and hope at the end of the tunnel regarding some of the things you're going through. So appreciate your viewership. Thanks for watching. Shalom and Shavua Tov. Bye-bye.